Yeah, hello, you're welcome to HiSec Pro 163. Okay, we're going to be looking at Cisco Certified Cyber Hubs Associate, Understanding Cisco Cybersecurity Operations Fundamentals. Okay, we're talking about CBR Hubs, so on the 201. So I'll be taking you to some lab, right? So we're going to be investigating an SQL injection attack. Okay, so I have a lab here. I have an topology lab. And let me just quickly take you through this. We have this internet, we have this Kali, which is acting as an internet workstation. And I have the DMZ zone, which is vulnerable service, which is metasploitable. So this metasploitable is actually hosting the web, and the Kali is going to attack. And there's a security onion, a workstation security onion, which is also acting as the firewall and the router. So he is the one linking all these workstations together. So it's acting both as a router, as a firewall. I have all my intrusion detection systems there. Okay, so I'll launch an attack from the Kali to this metasploitable, which is an SQL injection. Then we go ahead, we go back, we come to security or not to do some analysis of this particular attack. All right, so let's quickly go to the to those workstations. So yeah, I have my security onion, and as well I have my Manchester Volleyball, which is hosting the website. Then I have my Kali, which we are going to use for our attack. Right. Okay, so the first thing I would like to do is to make sure that all this workstation can be able to reach each other, especially my Kali to be able to get to Metasplorer. So the first thing we're gonna do is to ping the um, the Metasplorer machine. So I'll do ping and then 209, which is the address of the site. It's 5.200.235. Okay, so if I got so I could get a response. So I'm getting a response back from the Metasplorer machine. So apart from that, I can quickly go to the site using the web browser. So we'll quickly go to the web browser. So then I can visit the site, the 209.165. Okay, then yep. So I can get a response that I'm getting to that site. All right. So the next thing we're gonna do is to make sure that all my services are running that I'm going to use for the investigation, which is on this security onion. I have to make sure that the services are running. Okay, so especially my skilled application, which is my intrusion detection system. So how will I do that? I'll quickly go to the terminal, and then I will issue the command sudo. Okay, sudo service ns status. Okay, so right, so I can see my skilled is running, which is my intrusion detection system. You can see that, so it's okay. So that shows that my server is running, which I'm going to use for this analysis with the investigation. Right. So since that we know that that is running, so that for it to capture our attack, so I have to make sure that I indicate. You can see that I have some interfaces. I have interfaces that is interacting. Oh, okay. So security interface 201, all this interface. I have to make sure that they are run so that it can capture the traffic. As traffic is passing along the interface, so that I can then come back to it for the analysis. Okay, so the next is for me to start my skill and make sure it's running. So I will log in. Okay, so it's running. So for it to capture, to monitor all those interfaces, so as the injection is taking place, it can be able to capture what is going on. So I have to select all, and as well to start it to start running, so that it can capture the instant just traffic that is passing through those interfaces. Alright, so I have this running already now. So what I will do next is for us to now initiate the injections. Alright, so we'll quickly go to the my web page again, to the sites 209 right. Okay, so the next we go to the site to initiate the injection. Alright, so I have my injection. You can see injection and extra status. Yep. So using this as our lab, so now we have where we can display to inject, do some injection. I have a SQL statement. We put inject, but I won't be able to for it to accommodate my injection, my statement. I will need to increase the interface of that name space. So I will do that by inspecting the element there, and you will see that it will bring some inspectors. Yes, then you can look here. I have input name, username. So I will change the size. I'm going to change the size to 100. Okay, then so I can accommodate my statement. Right, then I'll come back here, okay, and input my statement. So what I have here is select CCID. So what the statement is going to do is to fetch me all the numbers, all the card numbers, as well as their password, then expiration, that means validity date of those credit cards. So that's the purpose of this statement. So what I'll do now is to hit account details, and then okay, so now I can see that I have some results. So now the injections are taking place. Somebody have attacked. So we use this to initiate an attack, and then we are able to capture all this information. So as a security analyst, how will you be able to detect what has happened? So that is where we're going now. The phase we're going to is the investigation and based on analysis. Okay, so let's say this has happened. So how do we investigate? How do we capture? So that is why it's very good for us to have all these monitoring systems in terms of our intrusion detection systems, our firewall to block and all that. Okay, so let's go into the investigation now. How do we investigate this? Initially we initiate this the SQL server so that it can be able to monitor all what is going through the interface. That is very good for a corporate establishment to be able to have the monitoring systems. Okay, just like we have done this now. We have a monitoring system. You can see when we start our host here, our host system. So the host intrusion detection system here. So it's already capturing what is going on the traffic through and through. So that's what we can always come back to it and check what has happened, okay, and which is what we want to do now. So the first thing I will do is to look for the real-time event that has to do with SQL injections. I'm trying to expand this. Okay, so you can see one here. So I'll look for the one that is it. I look for the alert that has an increase of 7.0, which is mostly going to be a recent one. So, but what we can also do is to find some correlation to this, because I've been doing this, so definitely I'm going to have a lot of correlation. Now look at here, you can see the dates. So if you look at the dates I have here, it's 9th of July, so which is recent one that we just initiate now. Okay, you can see this is the recent one, 29. and this is the time it takes place. You get. Okay, so I can do now, I can check for the transcript for this, right? Okay, good. Now we can see the transcript. So now we are doing some investigation. So how do we know? You can see that this is a GET request, and this is the IP address. So all these are for your record, and this is the destination, which is the server that is posting the record. You get, and then we can see the source port and the destination port. So all these are the vital information that we need for our investigation. Okay, so then, okay, what kind of administration is kind of GET request? So this will give us a kind of hint of what kind of request it is. So we can see that it's a union statement, CCID, which is what this can give a clue for what the person has tried to, to fetch from that site. And then from the credit cards, so you can see the password, user information, submitted buttons. Okay, so and these are also information, so we have to take note. And then we can as well like find out what kind of information the attacker was able to extract from that web page. Okay, so I can scroll down, or you can use the search button. Okay, I can say, okay, let me just, okay, since I'm seeing something related to passwords, so I can search. I was able to get some passwords, so I can do password, then search all, then find. Okay, so then I can look down. I'm sure there's some other password details down there. Right, so if I come down, scroll down to the attack page. Now when we look down here now, so we can see the error report, results for 5 records, and the username, so was able to get all these 411, and the passwords, the signature, which is the expiration date, and get that, and then how many records. So here now you can see 5 records, so we know that he has already captured a lot, 5 records from the database. You get it, because you can look down. All right, so this is so with this we are able to get what the results the attack was able to fetch from the database. You get it, right? Then if you look up is a successful one. How will you know for this to give us 200? Okay, this shows that this was a successful attack. It was able to get all these results back, was able to get all this information back. All right, so with this we can as well get all this information, maybe in case we want to do some download. And then I also have this ELSA, which is also another we can also get our information with this. I can fetch this information from the logs as well. So these are another used to also analyze. And so let me quickly log in. Okay, so I can also get the same information from here. And log in. So good. I'm looking for related reports that has to do with HTTP. So from there, then I see the top. So I look for the top SQL, possible SQL injections. Then I can click on this. Alright, so we can see the one pertaining to Monday, July 29. So this is the time that it takes place. So what do I do to get all this information? I can go to info, right? Then so I get the capture. So this is good for the fact that if we want to download the report, and then for that for further analysis, so we will log in again. Okay, right, then send the request, so I can get that same request. So you can see that there I can have my information, and this will give you a more clearer transcript whereby you can also download it and do a further investigation. Sure. So that is good for our analysis. So you can see the gets from the source, and So all those addresses. So these are things that we captured in our analysis: the IP address, the port numbers, um, the both the source and the port destination port numbers. Mm. And now we can see the status of this, that it was an OK request. So it was OK. The status shows that it's OK, which means it's a successful one. So which means the site was able to accept that query and then give a response back. So this shows that it was successful. And then, like we said, if you scroll down, you get some information. So if you scroll down, you will get some information that was captured there. Okay, and so that we can those information that were captured. I think those are things that we need for our report. Okay, so I'll scroll down so I get there. So the report, the 5 records found. So all this now. So these are details that we need. All right, I just want to show you this. So this time, okay. So as we can see, our ELSA was able to provide an interface for us like this on our enterprise logs search archive, which is ELSA. So it provides a solutions index for logs, and then it gives us a kind of a clear and a simple search interface. As we can see that we see all the different protocols before we get to this page where we can click on each of these protocols and check them. And it has a kind of a reporting and sharing interface. And it also gives us a kind of a block systems for taking actions with our logs. And if you look here now, I can as well click on this and download the backup for me, which I can open with Wireshark and all that for further analysis and all that. All right, so another thing that will also make use in this investigation analysis, if we are maybe not too used to this, I think maybe I used to Wireshark, we can as well open this with Wireshark as well. I can just right click on this, I can right click on it and investigate with Wireshark as well. So you can see Wireshark. So we can open the same thing with Wireshark. You can do our analysis with Wireshark if you are used to that. Right, so with Wireshark, so look at it. I have my transport layer, the port numbers, this destination port numbers, the IP address, and the destination IP address. So then I can follow the TCP screen to see those information as well. You can follow the TCP screen, so you can get those information with it. So just the same information, but just like we have to know the tools that we are used to getting it. So anyone that is very conversant with to use for your analysis. So if you scroll down, like we said, to at the same time, so you just the same information, you can also get all the same reports. So here we are having a class report, getting the results, 5 records, all that. So and we can get all our facts of what kind of injections that took place. So right here we can have all our details, just the same information. So these are just good for, it's just like a brief about how we can analyze our data, how we can analyze this injection, do some investigation. So we can download this, check it thoroughly, getting, but it's very good. So the key things we are getting here is that we must have intrusion detection system. We must have a monitoring systems that we can use in case in case we have a kind of attack like this. And why you need to understand that this is a lab. So if you having a database, you should protect the database. you need to validate your input. Why we are able to put this injection is because that site input was not validated. So if your input is validated, you won't allow anything apart from maybe the user's account or whatever information that needs to be there. So it's because it's not validated, that is why we can inject and put anything there. So validations of your input is very, very important. It's the key to secure any kind of input that they want to try your the interface of your input. All right, so very good. So I believe we have gotten one or two things from there. So let's quickly go back to our, so like I have explained. Now, what information can you gather from the logs and the transcript window? Okay, so that's information from all of us. What can you capture from there? So then in my own summary, I can say the transcript window display the transaction between the source. Like I told you, we need to capture the source IP address, what are the port numbers associated to that port, and the destination. So we can see the destination, and then so in the summary we can say the transcript indicate that 209.165, which is the address of the attack machine, and then send a request to access the credit card's information using what? An SQL in your operators. And the transcript from the web server on this 209.165 shows the HTML content that was displayed to the attacker. So, and this is exactly what we captured from that from the investigation. All right, so I want to thank you for watching this video. Also, like, make comment, share, subscribe for more videos, and I want to thank you for watching.